I'd like to talk a little bit about recovering or reusing yarn. And when I say that, I mean that you've knit something that you're not happy with and you want to unravel it and reuse the yarn. But when you unravel the yarn, it's always full of kinks like this and not ready to knit with yet. And that's what we're going to talk about here. When I do this, I use a ball winder and a swift. And that does make it easier, but you don't have to have these things to be able to do this technique. You can wind the ball by hand instead of using the ball winder, and you can use the back of a chair instead of an umbrella swift. I have this piece of seed stitch that I'm ready to rip out, and I'm going to use the ball winder to rip it out. I'll wind it on there, and the ball winder does make it a bit easier because when you wind by hand, it takes 2 hands to wind. And this takes just 1 hand, and I'm able to manage the knitted piece in the other hand. And this yarn, the fact that it was knit in seed stitch means that it is really full of kinks. It's cool to watch it unravel, I think. Okay, even though it's cool to watch, I don't have to do the whole thing for the sake of demonstrating it. So we'll just stop right there. Then I pull this off, and the ultimate goal here is we want to get this into a hank so that we can wash it and soak out the kinks in the yarn. So next up, I'll take my swift and open that up a bit. And it's easier to go from a ball to the swift than straight from the knitted piece to the swift. I've found that extra step does make the process easier. I'm going to tie a knot here. And it's just going to pull really smoothly from this cake of yarn. Hopefully, it's a little tight right now. And this is rewinding it back into a hank. Which will let me, whoops. There is a little crank on top of my swift, but I find that it's hard to get going with the little crank. Oh, that's working. Okay, again, I don't have to do the whole thing, but you see here we've got the yarn back into a ring. And now I'm going to take some smooth sock yarn, just some scrap yarn, and take a little piece of this. And here's my end. I'm going to secure the end here by tying some of the scrap yarn around that, and then go to the opposite side and tie a second one. Okay, your yarn is now a mess. Isn't that funny? Your yarn's now ready for a bath, and you'll treat this just like any knitted item. You're going to fill the sink with lukewarm water with a little bit of wool wash and put this hank of yarn in there. It's not going to go anywhere. It has these 2 bits of scrap yarn securing it, so it's going to stay in this ring shape. Put it in the water and let it soak for about 30 minutes. Really squish the water and the wool soap into there to make sure it absorbs. Then when you pull it out, it may require a little bit of coaxing, but it should be smooth yarn at that point. Then you can set a towel out on the floor and put your hanks of yarn into the towel and roll it up like a burrito and step all over it to squish out the excess water. Then what I do is I hang the hanks each on their own clothes hanger, and if it's wintertime or it's not sunny outside, I hang them on the shower bar, and if it is sunny outside, I hang them out on the backyard fence in the sun, and the yarn will dry in no time. Then once you have yarn that is both dry and smooth, you can put it back on the umbrella swift or the back of a chair and either use a ball winder to get it back into something usable like a yarn cake or a yarn ball if you're winding by hand. Anyway, those are the steps in recovering or reusing yarn. This is a great technique. I actually use it all the time. Good luck.